My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
Well, alright peoples, we gotta wait until I think February until The Walking Dead comes back on, so pretty much I'm done with TV because all other shows, right, that's on right now, complete trash. Like I think people are saying to get into, what's that trash show called? Jessica Jones? Junk is trash. Anyway. I'm joking. No, but, so yeah, this was the mid-season finale to AMC's The Walking Dead. And okay, so a lot of people have been saying that this mid-season finale was disappointing. In some ways it was, but the way people are like talking about this episode, they're making it seem like it was complete trash. Like it was like, you cannot, like, the only mid-season finale to where I was like, really? Like, that's how you're going to end it off like right now, was a mid-season finale in season 3. If you think that this mid-season finale was disappointing, then you must not have seen the mid-season finale in season 3. That just was like, really? Because they hyped up this freaking huge fight that, you know, that was supposed to go down, and we all know what went down. So in some ways, yes, this episode was disappointing. I thought at some points they could have took it to the next level, because what I thought was going to happen in this episode almost happened, but they kind of just fell back on it. So I thought they could have, you know, took more risk, but I still thought I would give this episode like a 7.5 or 8. You know, it was a pretty solid episode. But this episode, season 6, episode 8, was called Start to Finish, and a lot of stuff went down. A lot of stuff went down. So, let's talk about it, man. So in the last episode, in episode 7, the last scene was we seen the building, and it was like fell over on top of one of the walls of Alexandria, and we all know what's gonna happen. All them walkers are outside trying to get in. The dinner bell has just been rang. Squad of walkers, a squad of walkers just start to come in. Rick sees this. He's like, oh my God. And the thing is, Rick has been through these three situations so many times, but each time it happens, it's like so intense. So he's trying to tell all the people to get inside their houses again. All the people that have been in Alexandria, that have been inside of this place, they have been inside of Alexandria this whole time. They've been behind these walls, inside safety with these walls. They have never dealt with this, so they are still not prepared for these freaking walkers right now. So Rick is saying to all of the people to get inside, you know, while he's trying to shoot a few walkers. This Chaos Michonne is out there trying to, you know, do her thing. Deanna, Deanna, and the thing was, in that scene, like at the very beginning, I was like, "Oh, get the freak out of here! She should have been bit." But eventually she did get bit. But yeah, so she almost got bit, but Rick saved her for the time being. You know, and it's chaos, man. Even Glenn's wife, Maggie, I thought she was about to get it because them walkers were on her and she was trying to like climb up this thing. And I was like, Glenn, bruh, you just came back from the dead and now Maggie's about to die and your unborn child. So I'm like, God dang, it was chaos when the episode first started. So yeah, the walkers came in. Alexandria is completely overrun by walkers, and I'm like, God dang, this place fell fast. Like, low key, back at the prison with just fences, they were more safe than this. Freaking walkers are everywhere inside of this place. So people are like going inside of their houses and stuff while, Rick and Michonne and them are trying to come up with a plan to how to take on all of these walkers. Then they go back to Glenn and Enid. Now, Glenn wants to get in there to save his people and, of course, to get to Maggie, because, Glenn is loyal. Glenn is just not going to, just run off in a one direction. So he's about to go in there, and Enid's like, this is how it happens, right? She pretty much does not want to go in there. And again, when Enid, if y'all remember the scene with Enid to where she was in the van with her parents and then they got, captured by walkers and eaten, I think that really got to her. So every time it comes to, moments like these, she gets terrified and she just doesn't she just loses complete faith. And Glenn, is trying to talk to her saying, listen, this is what we have to do. I know you might be scared, but those are our people in there. That's my pregnant wife in there, Lori 2.0. So, Glenn being loyal, loyal Glenn, he's going to go in there for his people. Oh yeah. Oh my God. And then Morgan and Carol. Bruh. That scene, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that scene. So Morgan and Carol are together, and again, they're running from. There's walkers everywhere. So Morgan is with Carol for the time being, and they're trying to run from the walkers. Carol trips and falls, and she gets a concussion. And I'm like, out of all the things this old savage lady has been through, you mean to tell me she just trips and gets a concussion and now she's out of the game? I'm like, get the freak out of here. So I was like, are they really about to do this with Carol? So I really thought she had a concussion. Carol being Carol, I just forgot how savage this lady is. But for the time being, she has a concussion. Denise is with the wolf guy that Morgan tied up, and he's trying to get meds for this wolf guy. I'm like, listen, a lot of people, and I can see where they're coming from, because Morgan, some people actually want this man dead, Morgan. And I'm like, this man just came in. He was a fan favorite. Now all of a sudden, some people are getting tired of Morgan. And here's why I stand with Morgan. I love this character because you always need another character. I mean, again, it's almost like the Rick and Shane, dilemma part 2, because they're pretty much going through not the exact same thing, but they're pretty much going through the same thing, to where Rick is now kind of Shane-like, and Morgan is like Rick. He just doesn't want to kill people. And of course, there's going to be this power struggle there. So, but yeah, that whole thing where Morgan is trying to save that wolf guy, and the wolf guy is saying, when I get out of here, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, you're really trying to save this guy? So Denise is talking with the wolf guy. And she's talking to him about what he did to them and why did he attack them and stuff. And she's saying, it's not too late to a change for the better. The same talk that we've been through time and time again in this series, when people have changed for the worse, people are always trying to get them to come back. It's not too late to come back from this. And we've seen it with the governor. We've seen it with Shane. I mean, we've seen this a lot in this episode. And this wolf guy, he just seems so content with just being who he is now. He's just like, no, I'm gonna kill you. It's just like, why don't y'all just kill this guy, But, so that's going on. He shows the wound. Again, I don't know how he got this wound. At first I thought it was a bite. I don't know if it's a bite or not, but the wolf guy, he has this wound on his stomach. And it looks like even if it's not a bite, which I don't think it is, it looks like it's going to get infected. That junk has a huge gash and it got pus going on. I'm like, this man's done. So, yeah, that happens. Back with Rick and Michonne and Deanna. Deanna, she did get bit in that scene, to where I was like, oh no, she should have been bit in that scene. She did get bit, but I guess they didn't show us the, parts where she actually got bitten. So Deanna, she is laying on the bed and she lifts up her shirt and she's like bit on the stomach. I mean, you can't cut off, her, if you're bit on the stomach, there's nothing you can do. Like they just can't cut off your stomach and be like, all right, let's go. It's like you're done, So Deanna, she sees that, and she's like, and I don't curse, but she's like, well, crap. But she says the S word, when she said that, I started laughing because she was just like, she knew that she was done. There was no, trying to help her because she got bit on the stomach. Oh yes. Oh man, this might have been probably the best scene in this episode. At least my favorite, probably one of my favorite scenes in this episode. Coral, not Carl. Coral. Coral. Carl and Ron are talking, right? And they're talking in this room, and Ron, he looks pretty much broken. He looks like he lost all faith and that they're all going to die. And he says, Enid is dead and soon they will be too. And he starts to blame all the stuff that is going on Rick. He's starting to blame Carl's dad and saying, listen, we're in this situation because of your father. And, you can see Carl is like, something like, you gonna do, Carl? But, Ron is, and even before that scene, Ron, he's gonna do something. He's something, and I thought it was gonna happen in this episode, but Ron is going to do something to where Rick is going to, I thought it was going to happen in this. Anyways, but, he's blaming, Rick for all the stuff that's going on. Then, Carl starts to, speak up. He's like, listen, I know, I get it. My dad killed your dad, but let's be honest. Your dad was an a-hole. And when he says that to Ron, when he says that to Ron, Ron's like, you can see it rubs him the wrong way. So Ron, he goes to the door and he unlocks it. And then the way they shot that scene, you can see that Ron was pulling out a gun from his back, and Carl's seen this, and Carl's like, just before he shot, Carl went at him and pushed him, and then they got into this little tussle. So Carl is trying to get the gun, Ron is trying to get, and again, if you read the comics, you all know what I thought was going to happen. If Ron did that, if what happens to Carl in the comics, and it still might happen. I don't know if they're going to try to switch it up or stuff like that. Because I remember Kirkman saying one of the things that he regrets doing to Rick in the comics is cutting off his hand. If you guys don't know, in the comics, Rick, he lost a hand, and again, he said he regrets doing that. So I'm not sure if they're trying to completely follow the comics, which they have not been doing. But I'm not sure if they're going to do that with Carl. But I thought that was going to happen with Carl, if you know what goes down in the comics. And if that happened, Rick would have freaking lost. You think Rick is crazy now? This man, Rick, would have been on the governor's status. This man would just been straight up killing everybody. But that happens, and again, while they're fighting, Rick hears what's going on. So Rick hears Carl and Ron making a lot of noise in the room. Rick, he's like, Coral! He's trying to get in the door, and he's trying to slam the door and stuff like that, and Ron pushes Carl into one of the doors, and one of the glass on the doors break. Them making all of this noise is starting to attract the walkers. So now the walkers are about to get into where Carl and Ron are. And it's real tense, and Rick is trying to like get the door open. Just before Rick finally gets the door open, these walkers come like the walkers, man, squads of walkers. They were everywhere, you know. So that one was like real intense. And like Rick asked Carl what was going on, and like Carl, he didn't say it. I was like, is this man Carl really trying to cover for Ron or like what? But then Carl personally took Ron in a room himself and said, he put a gun on Ron and said, give me the gun right now. So I was like, okay. Because when he didn't tell Rick like what just happened, I'm like, are you really trying to cover for this douchebag right now? He just tried to kill you. So that happened. Oh yeah, this was another. Yo, they did that. Nah, that's, I don't know. That would be too messed up. But so yeah, again, Deanna's bit, and you know they left her in like the room by herself. You know, and she's starting to catch a fever. She started to look, you know, sick and stuff like that. And Rick hears like a noise in like the room, and he like goes past the room that Deanna was in, and he sees that she's not on the bed no more. And like, he's like, and then he starts to walk and he goes into the room where Judith is. And you see Deanna like leaned over, going like this, and it's like, wait, did this chick Deanna just turn into a walker and is eating Judith? And that scene was so funny and so intense because when Rick walked in and seen Deanna, and again, she's been bit for a while, and like she got up, and it's like when Rick sees Rick, that man Rick took out an axe, and he was like he was about to smash Deanna's head wide open, but then Deanna was like, I'm still here. She's like, I'm still here. I just wanted to see Judith before I go. That man Rick was about to crack her head open, bro. So they did that. If freaking Deanna turned to walking and was eating Judith, that would be so, oh my God, I'd be freaking messed up. But yeah, so after that happens, Rick lays Deanna back on the bed and they start to talk, and Deanna's saying, listen, when I'm gone, you have to promise me that you will look over, you know, my people. And she's pretty much like giving, like, Rick is now the official leader of this place. And like, she's saying to Rick, listen, just look after our people, teach them the way to survive and stuff like that. And again, Rick is not this savage. Like, the way Rick is now, Rick is like forced to be the guy who he is today, but you can still see when people, you know, die, that he actually, you know, cares that he actually cares somewhat about. You can see it gets to him, you know, because Rick is like, he actually does look sad in that scene, you know, with Deanna. So she's like saying to just take care of what's left of the people at Alexandria, and one day this place will be built back up and stuff like that. So that happens. Back to Morgan and Carol. So, again, I was like, so you mean to tell me all the stuff that Carol has been through, she tripped and got a concussion? Really? So, come to find out, Carol faked it. Carol is the ultimate, literally Metal Gear Solid Carol. That's what I call her. She is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing, bruh. So she faked having a concussion to Morgan just to because again, she knows where Morgan is keeping this wolf guy, you know, so she faked that to get to where he is. So there was like this one scene to where like Morgan was talking to Carol, and like Carol was like, I'll be okay. This man Morgan like puts down his stick and he turns around. Carol's gone. This chick pulled the ultimate like freaking faking. Like she was like faking sick. And so yeah, like once Morgan sees that Carol did, he knows where Carol is going. So they both get down there, and again, people are starting to I wouldn't say hate Morgan, but they're starting to it's hard to be on his side because if you've been watching this show since the first season, we've been through these moments to where you cannot, you just can't do it any. Like, if someone is posing a threat to you, if they have killed some of your people, you kill them. That's it. Like, there is no negotiating anymore. It's just the world that, that these people are in now. And Morgan, for whatever reason, he still thinks our life is precious now. So Morgan, he gets between the wolf guy and Carol. Carol has a knife. She is ready to gut this wolf guy. Carol, she will kill anyone without hesitation if it's not her people, So Morgan was like, Carol, I cannot let you do this. And then Carol was like, Morgan, move or I will kill you. And then Morgan was like, I can't let that happen. Morgan was like, I cannot let that happen, So I was like, I really about to do Morgan versus Carol. Lo and behold, they did. They got in this little tussle. And Carol was starting to hold her own for a bit. I was like, really, Morgan? Like the Black Bruce Lee? Like, you should be dominant. But Carol, she got held with her own for a bit until I guess Morgan got sick of Carol. This man, Morgan, all I remember is he grabbed her. And he had Carol in the air. This man did a Kane or a Undertaker choke slam. That man Ray Rice the best out of Carol, bro. Carol was I don't know why. I laughed so hard in that scene because it was it was I wasn't expecting. Morgan was just enough of this. Choke slammer, bro. RKO, whatever you want to call it. Carol was knocked out bruh. She got Ronda Rousey, bruh. She was knocked out. So I was like, again, a lot of people, it's hard to be on Morgan's side right now because we've been through it too much. We've been through these situations too much, and you know what you have to do. You should kill the wolf guy. There's no way if a guy that just killed killed some of our people, and he's still saying, when I get out, I'm gonna kill more of you. Why would you try to help this guy? So when Morgan knocks out Carol, the wolf guy gets up and he picks up the stick from Morgan and knocks out Morgan. I'm like, this is the guy that you're trying to help, so that happens. And he takes Denise with her. The wolf guy takes Denise. That man took a piece of meat with him. he held Denise, hostage because, who came in? Oh yeah, it was, there was so much stuff I freaking wrote down. Who came in? It was, Tara, Rosita, and Eugene, and he held Denise hostage, took a piece of meat with them back to wherever he was going, so now Denise gone, and the wolf guy's gone, and Morgan and Carol are laid out, so that happens, and again, walkers are everywhere. They're starting to get in the houses, man, and they go back to one of the first things they did in this series back in the very first season, to where they would gut the walkers and put their guts on them to, to try to, pretend that they were a walker. And when you do that, then the walkers won't recognize you. So they start to gut the walkers, and Rick is saying, listen, we have to do this. Again, these people have not been through this. They're looking at this guy you really want us to do it? And Jesse's son, Sam, that man's I thought he was going to die. I was like, this kid is going to die because he looks completely terrified. He just sees Rick taking guts from a walker and just going he's these people have not been through this, but Rick, but Rick is saying, listen, I've done this before. We have to do this, or we won't escape, because again, the walkers are inside the house. I'm not just talking about a few walkers. There's walkers everywhere. So they gut the walkers, and they're starting to put, the guts on them. And like towards the very end, they're just going through a freaking herd of walkers and just trying to move slow. And they're just moving slow. And meanwhile, Sam is like, Mom! I'm like, someone shoot this kid right now. So, yeah, so that's how they got out the house. They start to gut the walkers and put their guts on them. It's a real old tactic, as far as with the OG group. This is what they've done before, but this is new to those people. So, that was the end of this mid-season finale. And again, some people thought that this finale was disappointing. In some ways it was. I thought they could have did a little more than they did. Some moments were a little slow. A lot of the talking scenes with Deanna and Michonne, or Deanna Rick, was like, Deanna, just die. And speaking of Deanna, she could have shot herself before she turned into a walker. This chick got up from the bed, open the door just to shoot more walkers. Meanwhile, she's bit, and then like then she just screams. She's like, I'm just like, so you mean to tell me you wasted all of those bullets and now you're about to turn her into a walker? It's like, I would have blown my brains out. Right? There's no way I'm about to turn into one of those things. But yeah, so that was the episode. Again, if you read the comics, you probably know what happens to Carl, which I thought was what was going to happen to Carl in that scene with Ron. I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't. But they still have 8 more episodes in this season. And Andrew Lincoln, the guy who plays Rick Grimes, he said that the second half of this season is going to get like real dark, real chaotic and stuff like. And I remember the first time he said like it was going to get dark, and that was in the premiere of season 5. And that first episode of season 5 was real dark. So I'm really expecting some stuff. And the prologue. You didn't see the prologue of the next half of The Walking Dead. Pretty much, long story short, Negan is coming. Negan is coming. That man Glenn should have stayed underneath the dumpster. He should have stayed underneath the dumpster, because Negan and his best friend Lucille is coming. If you don't know who Negan is, pretty much Negan, if you read the comics of the Walking Dead, and I'm not even too familiar with the comics. I've read a few, but I'm not like deep into the comics, but I know like some of the stuff that has went down in the comics already. Pretty much Negan is like the ultimate villain. He makes the governor look like Swiss cheese, bro. Like, this man Negan, he is gonna be on a whole nother level. And man, all I'm saying is, Glenn, that man should have stayed underneath the dumpster. That's all I'm saying. So that was the prologue. Negan is coming. The guy said something to the extent, all of the property that you own right now belongs to Negan. And that was it. And it's just like, cool. So that was it, man. So again, this episode, I give it like a 7.5 or 8. There were some slow moments. I thought at times they could have did a little bit more, and they could have ended on just a better ending. It could have had a huge cliffhanger that just left us like, come on, now we have to wait till February. But it was still a good episode, man. But what did you guys think of this mid-season finale of The Walking Dead? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think about the soon arrival of Negan? What do you think about the future of this group? Just what do you think is going to happen in the second half of this season? But yeah, man. And man, Morgan and Carol, that's sick. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. And yeah, man, The Walking Dead starts again in February, so I'll be looking out for that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Negan, is coming. And his best friend, Lucille.